Hey everybody, I think I'm live now, but I'm not sure. You know, this is the first time in a long time that I've actually gone live. And so I'm not exactly sure how this is all working. Let me just double check and see if I can make it so I can see any comments that might be coming in. And I might as well pour a little bit more coffee while I'm waiting to see if anybody does check in. It's my Facebook chat and I'm not on Facebook. So I'm going to need to do something right here for a sec. Like I said, I'm really pretty new at this, so bear with me. All right, let's see. I think we are live. So, okay, yeah, I see you guys. Hey, Vicky. Hey, Vicky. Oh, my God. Okay, now this is scary. I'm new at this. I'm not used to being live on here, so hopefully all will go well. So, I got my coffee poured, and I know, Vicky, you're a little bit into sublimation. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to see my comments because I have every one of my devices in use. I have one of my iPads here, the other one's over on my heat press. My iPhone is right here, and I have nothing else to look at. So I'll just check in every once in a while here on Facebook or in YouTube where I can see it right here. So anyway, let's get started. Have a sip of my coffee. Maybe y'all saw this mug I made last week. Pretty happy with the way it turned out. And unfortunately, I made a mug to go with today's lesson, but I made 11 of them and I gave them away last night to my friends. We went to a restaurant, local restaurant, where we go every Friday or Saturday night, and we know a lot of the people there, so I gave everybody a mug. But I do have some other stuff to show you that goes right along with it. So I guess I'll start with that first. One of the things, this is what maybe you've come to see me make, and I think it's super cute. I love how the gnomes turned out, so colorful. It's really pretty. Okay, so that's it. I also did that on a mug, but as I said, I've already given away all those mugs. So today I was working on a new project, and I think it's a lot of fun. If you're as old as me, you'll recognize some of these characters. I know there's a glare on it, and it's going to look blurry to you maybe, but it's really not blurry, or obviously there's no glare in real life. But I'm going to make another one of these mugs over on my heat press so you can see how that's done. But this is going to be for those same people because, you know, they're a certain age just like I am, so they know the same things. As a matter of fact, I have Yogi Bear holding a sign in the left-hand side that says, "Those were the days," right? When we used to watch cartoons like this. Friday night popcorn night at my house. Anyway. All right, the other thing I'm trying out, just for the fun of it, is... Oh, Nightbot's saying stuff from the other day, but that's good. He said about the wooden coasters, and they are wonderful. I'm trying out making this. When I do it again, I'm going to make it larger. What I intended this to be is one of those air fresheners that you can hang in your car. I'd probably make it 2 layers and make it a little bit larger, and then you can just put like a... with some of that, what's it called, that everybody's getting or was getting, those scents, essential oils. There you go. You can put essential oils on it. And then this is the one that maybe you saw me make the other day that I think turned out super cute as well. All right, so let's go up to my desktop now and I'll show you. Your mug press came today. Oh, you're going to love it, Tammy. It's so much fun. I just can't quit doing it. Anyway, let's go up to my screen. So I need to get over here. Okay. All right. So this part of my screen looks pretty junky, right? But this was just what I was working on the other day when I did this happy fall, y'all. And I decided I was going to make it into coasters, which I did, as you saw one. I made a ton of mugs. I didn't make the baby onesie because I have it over there to show you, and I might sublimate it onto one of the onesies. But the reason why I didn't make it was because, as you'll notice, I have the name Savannah Rose. That's just a name I made up. And so nobody would be able to use this unless they happen to be named Savannah Rose. So what I did over there was I just cut this off, and I am going to sublimate it. So I don't know. Tammy and I were trying to think if anybody I don't know. Tammy, you got an idea there? You can maybe talk about it in the comments because I can't see them. But anyway, here's the air freshener too. And for the air freshener, all I did was cut this hole with a hole puncher. So for any one of these things, you don't even have to have a cutting machine. You can just make all of this stuff and print it directly from Silhouette Business Edition, or probably even the free version of Silhouette. So here's where I started. Here's the image that I got, and I wanted to show you where I got it. Now, check this out. Okay. Whoops, not that. This. First, I wanted to show you this. If you look right here, somebody on Etsy is selling the exact same design for $19.50 for this shirt, right? But I'm going to show you exactly where you can get the same design. I think, well, you'll see how much it is in just a sec. When we go right here, I thought you'd see how much it is. Let me look here in my orders. I probably shouldn't let, okay, it was $3.99 in my orders. That's how much I paid for it. So $3.99, and you can make bukus of shirts. You can make coasters, mugs, air fresheners, stickers. What else did I list there? Tattoos. I don't know, all kind of stuff. But anyway, for $3.99, just one file, and you can make all this stuff. So let's go back over there. After I downloaded it, and I just downloaded it on the 19th, which was yesterday, and I already made all these things with it. So I'll go back to Silhouette. When I downloaded it, it opened just like this. Okay. So the next thing I had to do was, I tried to figure out if I was going to put it on the onesie, what size would I make it? So for the onesie, of course, here's a onesie. And by the way, these are on sale again at Cricut Design Space, and I really like them. They have a really, really nice feel. It's not like a real slimy polyester, but it's silky like polyester, but not real silky. And so they're on sale 40% off. I have the link. I don't think I have it down below, but any of my Cricut links down below would take you to the sale. Anyway, so what I did was I got the onesie out, and I think I even have one over there out, but I'll just use this one, rip it apart. And so I'll just take it apart and figure out how much space I have to use on my onesie. Unfortunately, I don't have another camera that will work down here, so I'm just going to have to hold it up here for you and measure it as best I can. So I'll just take a ruler, and I'd measure across the chest. Let me tell you what this is. This would be about, I'd say, maybe, let me get this over here so you can almost see it. I'd say about 5 inches wide is a good width maybe, and I'll let it be whatever height it is if I make it 5 inches wide, or I could even make it a little bit wider if I wanted to. So the first thing I would do, oh, you weren't watching any of that. Whoopsie daisy, sorry. So here I am again with my onesie. It came in a package like this over at Cricut Design Space. See, I'll figure this out. And then all I did was I measured this like so, and kind of figured out that 5 inches worked pretty well. And I left the width be whatever it is. So now let's go back over to there. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and hold down Alt on my keyboard and drag one of these over so I always have a fresh one to the left. I'll hide it from myself. And the next thing I would do is just go ahead and, but remember, I decided I didn't want it to say Happy Fall, y'all. Let's peek back here and see what did I do on the onesie. Oh, I said the gnomes made me do it. So I put that in a circle above here. So I'll do that again. Let's come back over here to this one. And I'm going to get rid of the Happy Fall, y'all. Getting rid of that was a little bit trickier, and I'll show you why. It's not hard. Just takes a minute or two. I'm going to go ahead, and it appears as though I'm stuck for a sec. There we go. Going to right click. I can't ungroup anything, so I'm just going to say release the compound path. Notice that put boxes around almost all the stuff I want to get rid of. All these letters now, I can get rid of all of these letters other than just by hitting delete, and these extra spaces, just hit delete and get rid of all this stuff. The only thing I can't get rid of is the H. Maybe you can see why. It's connected right there. So that is connected. So the easiest way for me to get rid of that, or to make it not connected, is to come over here to the left-hand side to the knife tool, grab the knife. I'll come up here and make sure it's outlined straight. I'm going to uncheck auto apply. The reason I'm unchecking that is in case I make a mistake, I'll be able to move my knife wherever I need it. So I'm going to uncheck that and just come over here, and hopefully you can see it. Whoopsie, I didn't mean to do that. Hold Control Z. Right over here, maybe you can see my hand now. Yeah. And I'm just going to come over to the knife tool again, come back over here and just draw a line right through there. Okay, unfortunately, I didn't have auto apply off that time, because when I came back to the knife tool, it rechecked auto apply. So I need to uncheck that and then come over here and do it again. All right, so that looks pretty good to me. So now I'd simply come up here and say apply. That cut that right apart, and I can click on this to highlight it and hit delete on my keyboard. Okay, the other thing is I could do, if I was really particular, and I'm not, but if I was, I could come in here and double click on this, and do you notice those little boxes or nodes that come in? Now I could pull this little node out a little bit if I really wanted it to be a little bit more rounded like that, and I could really putz with that for quite a while. But like I said, I'm not like a perfectionist like that, because I don't really think anybody's going to notice that. But I am going to come down here and highlight this extra junk that's down here and delete that. Okay. So I'm going to scroll back out. Oh, and there's some more pieces I've left behind, so let me delete these as well. Delete. Just check. So I like to move him off to the side and just make sure there's nothing. Nope, it's good. All right. If by any chance you were going to put this on a dark t-shirt by using the vinyl that you can print on and then iron on, and you didn't want this white piece right here, let me show you how easy it is to get rid of that white piece. Now, you will have to have the business edition to do this, because it's not an option in the free version. But in the business edition, you can just come over here on the very right hand side where the trace panel is, and click on the trace panel. And then instead of using the select the trace area, which is pretty much what we always do, you can click on trace by color. Once you click on that, then you have to also click right here, trace by color. Then I can come over here to this white area and click on it. And I can up my threshold or my tolerance if I want to a little bit. And then I would just say trace and detach. And then I can just drag that right out of there, and look at that, it is gone. Delete. There's a couple more in here if I wanted to, like this one I could get rid of right here. I'll do it just so you can see again. Again, I would come over here to the trace panel, open it up, the eyedropper, which is trace by color, and just click right in here. Okay, it sort of seems like maybe I didn't get in the right spot, but I'm going to up the tolerance just to see, and no, I don't think I did. So I can move that eyedropper right now a little closer down where I want it to be. Aha, now I got what I wanted. So now I can say trace and detach, and again, just move that right out. So you can see now that you can see right through there. So if I had a black shirt behind here, that wouldn't show at all. Of course, another place you'd want to do it is right here. So why don't we? I'll just go trace by color, trace that white spot. Whoops. Tolerance. Okay. Trace and detach. And now I can get rid of that spot. But I really didn't need to do that because I'm putting it on a white onesie, so it wouldn't show up. And again, I said I wanted my onesie's width to be about 5 or 5.5 inches. So I can just scroll that in like that. Any size I like. All right, now what did I say? It said something like the gnomes made me do it. So to get your nice curving text, one of the ways you can do that is this. I like to come over to the shape tool on the left hand side, and I'm going to make it a rounded shape. Whoopsie. So I'm going to grab that right there, and I'm just going to draw an oval. And I can't see the gnomes through there very well, so that's really a pain in the neck. Easy to fix though. Come over here to the paint palette on the right hand side. It's called the fill panel. Click on that to open it, and then you'll notice right here it says transparency. It's going to make more transparent the thing that you have selected. And since I have that blue oval selected, when I go to the right, check it out. It makes that transparent. So now I can see, where do I want this thing to go? I can move it now wherever I like. Let's see. So maybe about like that. And actually that's pretty good because the center of the oval is right over top the center gnome. All right. So the next thing I would do to put my text in here is just come over here to the text tool and go right up here, oops, anywhere, and say, the gnomes made me do it. I don't need a period. Okay. So I could scroll out a little bit if I want. And now you'll notice it's on 2 lines. I don't really want it to be on 2 lines. So I'll double click again to get the text editing function back. And you know that's there because of the green box that is around it and this blue bar on the right hand side. So I'll stretch that bar on the right hand side over to the right, which is going to make the words do it pop up there where I want them to be. Okay. Now I click off and click back on so I can make it a lot smaller by doing that. Let's see, would that be about good? Yeah, I think that'll be nice. Okay, now I want it to curve right along this oval here. And all I need to do that, now if I try to drag it down here like this, right now it's not editable text. Remember, you know when the text is editable when you double click on it and you get that green box around it. But not only that, more importantly for what we're going to do now, let's put you back in the middle there, buddy. More importantly for what you're going to do now is you get this double-headed or 4-headed arrow. And that's what you're going to use, and you're going to drag it down here along this circle. So watch, when I drag that down, soon as it hits the circle, it's going to pop onto it. Then I can move it around like this by simply dragging it. And let's say I want it further away from their hats than what it is. I can use this little slider thing that looks like a zipper to move it closer or further apart. And you may think, well, okay, I'm done. That's it. Okay, let's get rid of that circle. Wait a minute. The text is stuck on the circle. No matter what you do, you can't get it off until you right-click on the text and you just say convert to path. And once you convert it to a path, it will release itself from that oval and you'll be able to move it and the oval. So I converted it to a path. I can now move this out and delete it. And then this is fine like this. If I wanted to, I think I could still make it a little bit smaller if I wanted to, like that. And I'd probably make it a different color. I don't know what color. I'll just do it black. But that might be a little overkill. But anyway, that's how I did the onesie for the child. Other than that, though, what I also did was I did come down here and made another oval. And I probably could have I should have kept the one I had, but this will work. And then what I did was, again, I came over to the right-hand side to the paint palette here, and I made it transparent so I could see. So I'll just type in the name Emma. Whoops, gotta click on the text tool over here. Click here, Emma Ray. Emma Ray. All right, so again, this is way too big, so I can make it a lot smaller. If I wanted to space the lettering, of course, I could do that by coming over here on the right-hand side to the text style panel and change, not the line spacing, because there's only, excuse me, one line. I would change the character spacing if I wanted to. But I'm going to leave it pretty much how it is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and put that on that oval. I know you're going to do this. I don't know how many times I've tried it and been frustrated. It won't go on that oval. Reason being is you don't have editable text. You got to double click on it till you get the four-headed arrow and then come up here. All right, it's upside down. You don't want it upside down. This part's a little tiny bit tricky. You just gently, slowly push it in. Did you see it flip? And then it flipped to the inside. But you're thinking, now I don't want it that close in. Remember that little zipper I told you about before? It's right here by my hand there on the left-hand pumpkin. I can grab that and push it out just like that. And there it is. And again, I can't take it off the oval until I right-click on it and say convert to path. Then I can move this, and I can put this here. And I probably could have sized them a little bit more closely, but that's good. You get the idea. Then all I would do with all this is group it. And this would be ready to go. This could be used in your Cricut design space. Save it as a JPEG, a print and cut. What I would probably do, let's see, what would I do? I might go ahead and put a shape behind this, like this, a circle or something. Right click, send it to the back, and maybe make that white. I'm not sure if that's necessarily. I'd have to check it out for sure, but this one's just going over the Silhouette software. Maybe Tammy would be knowing and she can answer it in the comments if she's here still. So that's it. All you would do now for your Silhouette or your Cameo machine or even your portrait, I love my portrait, just come over here and, aha. So here's the thing. I don't want to do it like this for my shirt because I don't want all of those things to cut out. So let's go back. So what I would want to do if I was doing this for sublimation, I would just cut this out myself with scissors, to be honest with you. I would just cut a square around it. But if I wanted my machine to cut it for sublimation, or if I was using that type of iron-on printable, again, I would come over here, make that transparent, probably make a nice circle that would kind of match what I've got here. And again, I could have just saved the circle that I had originally, so not to do all this putzing. All right, so I'd probably save it about like that. I can make this thing white. And then, of course, if I do go ahead to send it in my Silhouette, right now it's cutting everything that I don't want it to do. I would say cut edge, and it's just going to cut around the edge. And that, of course, is after I've printed it. So if this was a sticker, I would print them first, print it first. Okay, but I have one of these already over there that I'm going to show you in a few minutes as I put it onto a onesie. I also have another mug to make over there to show you. But let's see. So the other thing is, let's go to this one for a sec. This one was a lot of fun to work on this morning. Look at all these little images that I found one by one by one, and I traced them. And I put them on a piece of paper or a sheet here. Let me grab this so I can show you. For my mugs, let's go way over here. I don't like all this junk because I think it's confusing. Okay, for my mugs, I like to make it, if I'm doing a full wrap, I like to make my piece around no larger than 9 inches. This one's really about 8.5 by 3.5. Okay. So remember 3.5 tall. If you're using an 11-ounce mug like the kind that I buy that have been fantastic, that I get them from Heat Press Nation, link down below. But anyway, when I do it, something froze. Oh, well, hopefully it's not all frozen. But when I do it with my mug, I like to make it about 8.5 by 3.5. 9 inches by 3. So I'm not going to be able to show you a whole lot more here. What I wanted to do now is hopefully go over there and show you me doing a mug So let's check on that over there. There's my two heat presses. One is obviously my one that I use for shirts, and the other one is the one that I use for my mugs. So I'm going to take a mug over there and show you how that works. I think I'll bring this over because I think that it might be my microphone. So bring this over. Okay. All right, hopefully this is yeah, you can see. Okay, so what I've got going on right here is, now as I said, I did go ahead and spend the extra bucks and get the holder for the tape. Trust me, if you're going to do a lot of these things, it's really helpful. I was just cutting it with scissors. Here's the onesie, and here is the thing that I'm going to do with the gnomes. But before I do that, the one I have heated up already is the mug press. I have the mug press set 385 degrees, and the directions from the company say to do it for 100. Excuse me. They tell you to do it for 190 seconds. That's been too much for me. So, all right, maybe I need to go get a sip. Hang on. Okay, so I've got my mug here and my item. Notice that it looks really dull. When you print these things off, don't get concerned. They don't look bright like they're going to look when they're on the mug. Of course, you're going to put this face down on the mug like this. I always make sure that the bottom of my paper is cut straight, and that gives me the opportunity to make sure when I'm placing it on here by eye, I can get it as straight as possible. So now I can just tape this first one on, and I want to make sure it's pretty even. There. Now when you tape this, you do want to make sure that it's nice and taut. There's no extra space, because that's when you'll get what's called ghosting or shadowing. So you do want to make sure that it's on here nice and taut. And again, I'm looking at the bottom ridge to make sure it's pretty even. You know, again, I'm not a perfectionist. If my friend Rachel was here, she would vouch for that. I used to drive her nuts when we were quilting. Okay. And Vicky, huh. Okay, so there we go. So that's ready to go now. That's all there is to it. The big and the fun part of this was gathering all these images from my early days of watching cartoons. Our cartoons were a lot different, weren't they, back then? So I'll go ahead, sure my arm's not in the way, stick this in here. And you could purchase these separately for like $170. And remember, you don't even have to have a cutting machine. That was just a rectangle cut out. So you can use the software, whoops, I better start my timer. The free software to do almost everything I did there. The only thing you can't do in the free software is the trace by color for what I did today. Okay, so while that's going, I'm going to get the onesie ready, but you guys might not want to stay around that long, because I'll have to warm up this heat press then, because obviously I don't do the onesie in the mug press. But let's move this back. The first thing I would do, of course, with my onesie, I can't really see it, is put it in here and press it a little bit. And then also, hang on, because onesies have, let's see if I can't make you go down any lower, well, can I? Hang on, one more minute. Okay, you can see a little bit now. All right, since onesies have so many seams, as you know, you guys know this, all those seams up in there, when your press comes down, it tries to put a nice pressure on your design. This is going to keep it raised up a little bit. So either get a towel or something like that you have at home, or I purchased these little pads from Heat Press Nation. You get 4 or 5 different sizes, and then this just raises it up high enough so that none of those seams are going to bother this. They kind of sink down below it now. And so when that's in there, I like to make sure that is in there straight, because if that's straight and I put my design on there straight. But again, as I said, I would press this first. But take this design, put it down on there. Use tape again, although you don't actually have to use tape if you don't want to for this. The other thing you could do for this, if you're afraid that it's going to bleed through, is put a piece of paper under here. Thought I had some paper right here, but I'm not seeing it. But that's what I would do if I was doing this properly. I would put the heat pad, to make sure my heat pad stays clean, I put a sheet of typing paper or copy paper on top of that, and then put this down. And then I could put another piece of copy paper on top of this, or a piece of Teflon, something like that, or parchment paper, one of those things, and then just iron this on here. And they give the directions on how long to do it on the Cricut website. What I, started doing is I just have a pad here, and I'm keeping all the instructions I get from the different companies on the different products. So for the, mug is done, and I don't know where my pot holder is. Okay, but when the mug is done, you can hold it by the handle. Don't touch the mug. The mug will surely burn you. So you can touch the handle, start tearing this off. Don't touch the handle, Patricia. And you can see, hopefully, no, there. How nice that is. Yogi Bear, Flintstones. Anybody remember Tom Terrific? Who else? Woody Woodpecker, Pink Panther, Porky Pig, Elmer Fudd. You know who I don't like that I put on here? I never liked Mr. Magoo. Did you guys like Mr. Magoo? Not a fan. Oh well. Anyway, let me put this somewhere where it's not going to burn anything. And again, I don't think y'all want to stay here long enough to watch this. So let's go back over to my computer for a moment. And I'll try to look and see if y'all had any questions. Oh, I was going to show you a few of the other products as well. So, I haven't tried these yet. This is the Cricut shirt. This is really nice. It's not, again, not as slippery as some of the stuff is. It feels more cottony. If you like the cotton feel, this would be good. In addition to putting it on the onesie or the t-shirts or the coasters, you could also put that same design on stickers. The sticker paper I like to use is the printable vinyl by Cricut. Don't buy the Cricut sticker paper. It's too thick for most people's printers, and it'll just jam and you'll be so frustrated. So get the printable vinyl for your stickers. And you can see they're showing how they're putting it on stuff as if it were a sticker. The other thing I thought would be fun is the tattoos. You can make a tattoo. Remember the other day I made all those tattoos? I haven't put them on or done anything much with them yet. Just wore that one day. Here's one of them. A little tattoo guy. Put it right here. All right, let's see. What else? Then I mentioned to you also, if you don't have sublimation, no problem. You can use that same exact pattern or that same exact file. And I'm not affiliated with the girl. I just really thought it was pretty. But you can get this stuff called Jet Pro SS. And you can use this on, I think this is the light fabrics. This is the light fabric one, and I really like this. This is the kind that I've shown you on other videos before that you stretch after you adhere it, and it makes it last longer and hopefully not crack like I've had some of mine crack when I use that printable vinyl stuff. The other one that's for dark fabrics is this one called the Nina 3D Jet Opaque. And I'll have these listed down below if you don't get a screenshot of them. All right, so I was going to go back and show you again in case you did want to get that file. And as I said, I'm not affiliated with the girl at all. Let me show you. If you want to take a screenshot and jot down, where did I put it? Uh-oh. No, you know what? I think I put it below the video. I thought I had saved it here, but I guess I can also show you this. Hang on. Okay, there we go. I don't know if you'll be able to see this at all, but here we go. It's Moon M-I-I. I don't know. A lot of I's in there. But anyway, like I said, I have it linked down below, and it was $3.99 if you're interested in getting it, because I thought it was really cute. And again, remember, there's this girl that made it here. I guess it's a girl. And $19.50 for one shirt. So if you pay $3.99 for one file and then make all those different things out of it. I was trying to see what else she had to say about it. It doesn't look like anything. But anyway, let me check now to see if I can see if anybody has any questions. So let's see. I'll disconnect this one. So hang on one sec. I'm going to disconnect one of my devices so I can look.
Hi everyone, and thanks for joining me. Today I'm going to show you how to make your own fabric labels. I'm going to show you 3.
Oops. Hang on. Sorry. It's kind of hard to do this when you're just your own little person. Hold on, I'm almost done. Okay, finally. Sorry. All right, so I was just going to look to see if you guys had any questions. So let me just look back real quick and see. I'm looking on this one. Let's see. Yeah, Tammy, I'll be excited to see what you make. What do you have in mind? You remember those cartoons too? That dates us, doesn't it? Oh, thanks, Tammy, about if they want to win the onesie. Yeah. That'd be wonderful. Yeah, sure. Hey, Shirley. Yes, I couldn't see the chat at all before. I need just one more device so I could see everything. Because like I said, I have a lot of going on. I have my computer, my iPhone, an iPad, and now this iPad. That's what I need to run these different things. Vicky, you want that one what? What you want? She says she wants that one. Nice quality. Thank you. Love it. Thank you. Those were the days, right? Oh, not really? You don't think so, Vic? All right. Well, doesn't look like there's any questions, so I guess that's probably it. Thank you a lot for joining me. If you do have any questions, join us in our Facebook group, and they'll be linked down below, or certainly put a question underneath the video. I do try to answer those to the best of my ability. And I guess that's it. Thanks so much for joining me. You're welcome, child. Thank you. Hey, I'm sorry I missed your thing that Tammy said you did something last night, a little contest on your video. Yeah. All right. See you guys again later. Bye.